pinky ring. Lot of gang, lot of bitches in the icy chain. While you claim that you rich, that's a false claim. I be straight to the whip, no baggage claim. Whole lot of styles, can't even pronounce the name. You ain't got no.
Hey you guys, welcome back to TaylorXo, or welcome to TaylorXo if you're a new subscriber. So y'all, let's get into this video. So y'all, I'm in the car for this one, so if it sounds a little weird, it's because I am in the car, but I just kind of wanted to do a quick one just because I haven't been on here in a while, and I kind of just been dropping, shorts and the compilation videos, which I will get part 3 too, guys. I did not forget about compilation part 3. I know a lot of you guys love those and were requesting those, and I'm so sorry for not getting them out on time, but y'all know how it goes. So I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I know, unfortunately, some people, kind of hate the holidays because, family and, grieving family members and things like that. But, I hope everybody at least tried to have a good Christmas and had a safe holiday and, things like that. So to get into this video, I kind of wanted to do a quick one because Jazzy has not been posting, y'all. We're kind of, going into like weeks now, or like a weekend that she does not post. And a lot of people have been making like speculations, like, is Chris there, is Chris not there? And from what we all know, Chris obviously is not there. She has not made it a point to make it seem like Chris is there. I mean, we seen the Instagram post that she made, and it was like some sausages. People were speculating if they were grilled or not, because she posted them on the 21st. It was just like, okay, sis, did he come over just to grill up some sausages on the 21st and then he dipped out again? So, but from what we all know, she really has not been making it a point to include Chris in anything. Thanksgiving has passed, Christmas has passed, and there's been no mention of Chris, and she just simply has not been posting. Now, I'm sure she maybe did a video of the kids opening the gifts, the little, maybe 1 or 2 things that she got them for Christmas. Now, I'm pretty sure she'll post that, but for the most part, it's kind of been a pattern with her. The kids primarily aren't there, but when they are there, I know she'll hurry up and make her content with the kids, use the kids for content, and then they go over and she doesn't really post anything until they come back, which, she's not with Chris anymore. She doesn't really go anywhere. She has no money. She doesn't do anything. So obviously we know that, she doesn't have anything to post. So when the kids come over, that is her content. And she recently posted this video, which was yesterday, of her, Vlogmas is pretty much over. She practically missed the whole Vlogmas. I think maybe she posted maybe a total of 5 or 6 videos of Vlogmas and spread them out, but she did not do Vlogmas at all. And the fact that this girl really, could have made it happen for her kids, really could have got a bag of telling what happened between her and Chris, what went really down. And, she keeps posting all these things on Facebook, like this. She says, I am not okay. Life has been lifing. I smiled to hide the real, but I am so broken. And this was 2 days ago. So obviously sis is going through something. I mean, this is what she so-called claims. This is what she posts on Facebook. So it's just like, sis, why are you letting this man consume your holiday? I mean, at this point, it's really sad that she has let this man not only consume, her holidays for her kids. She sends the kids over to Philip's house and she's home with Legend for the holidays by herself, feeling pitiful and sad for herself because, Chris is not there. She doesn't have anybody anymore. And it's just like, sis, when he was around, I mean, it's not like he was, doing all these lively, party things, trying to brighten up the holidays anyway. I mean, he seemed like he was miserable. He didn't want to be there. So, why not have all your babies there and enjoy a holiday? I just don't understand why she always has to send the Davis 4 away for holidays. And, which we knew that she was obviously going to send them away and, just want to be there with Legend. So she really didn't have to do much, probably just put Legend to bed extra early, got her, some cowboy punch, and called it a night, you know, because sis is pitiful and she doesn't really, you know, do anything with herself anyway. So let's get into this little clip of her doing, you know, this gingerbread video. Now, like I was saying, she did drop this video, and, you know, people were saying things like how she blew off Ava. You know, when Ava went to go give her an ornament, Ava wanted to give her a hug afterwards after giving her the ornament, and Jazzy just walked off like she didn't see it. But you could clearly see that she saw Ava walk up to her to try to give her a hug, because when she was looking into the camera, you could clearly tell that she had seen behind her, because obviously she has one of those cameras that flip up and she can see herself while she's doing, you know, her videos. So I just thought that was even more sick, at the fact that she did see it and she didn't correct herself, like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, you know, let me give you a hug, I'm sorry, but wow, that was, you know, that was a beautiful ornament that you gave me, I'm so happy that you made that for me. You know, nothing like that. She's never really affectionate with her kids, never really loving. And, you know, it's sad that her kids, you know, even after still she doesn't really show them affection or, you know, give them any love, they still look for that from her, and she still continues to fail them every single time, you know, they want some type of love and affection. But let's get into this clip, y'all, and then we will talk about it.
I have something for Mom.
Oh my goodness, this is open up and you will see this ribbon as tall as me. My kids always come home with the cutest Christmas grow with me ornaments, you guys.
I'm gonna make you.
You're gonna make me one too?
Mama, I'll make you a gift.
You wanna put it on a tree? Okay, hold on.
Mama, I made it.
You made it? Where are we gonna put it at? Right there? Thank you, mamas. All right, guys, so my kids are super excited because they are about to do what?
A gingerbread house!
We get.
So as y'all saw in that clip, you know, it was really sad, you know, to see Ava be shot down. But, you know, Ava's not the only one. Aiden also, you know, you can very much tell that Aiden fiends for her love and, you know, tries to kind of be the center of attention for her, you know, and try to get in where he can fit in when Legend's not around. And you can very much tell that, you know, she just doesn't really care, and she doesn't acknowledge that, you know, he's trying to get some type of affection. So, you know, it's nothing new, nothing surprising here, you know, and this is obviously old footage. Her nails, you know, I don't think she has those nails on now, so, or I don't know if they were broken at the time, but either way, you know, this is old footage that she just, I guess, decided to just throw together and hurry up and put out because, you know, she has nothing else. And, you know, she really does think that she can try to deflect away from Chris being here. You know, this whole thing of her not posting, you know, she's trying to space things out to try to make it seem like, you know, Chris is there, but he's just not there on the days that she decides to film. And, you know, sis, we know we're on game. We know what you're doing. I mean, at least I am. I know what she's doing. And the fact that she's really trying to play in these people's faces, and the fact that this dumbass is not trying to get a bag off of this shit. You know, when you have reactors getting a bag off, you know, the speculations and, you know, people just, you know, getting some tea here and there, or, you know, the tea that she's deciding not to spill. It's just like, sis, why wouldn't you want to get your own bag off of this stuff? You know, Christmas was around, you know, not saying that YouTube doesn't continue to pay good. I mean, I've gotten excellent checks in January just as much as, you know, November and December. But, you know, either way, we know this girl isn't going to post. I mean, she's going to try to ride this out to as long as she can. I mean, and knowing her and her obsession with Chris, and, you know, just the fact that she doesn't want him to look like, you know, a crazy deadbeat on these streets, and we all know that he is a crazy deadbeat bum, you know, she will not utter a word. And we know that Chris didn't drop by to see Legend for Christmas. We know he didn't get him anything, because all she mentioned that Legend was getting was a $10 toy. And it's like, sis, okay, well, you're getting the $10 toy, but where is the gifts that his father's getting him also? Like, okay, so he's not in the house anymore, so that means that he doesn't have to drop by, you know, to see him for a birthday or a holiday, or even get him, a Dollar Tree toy at this point. I mean, it's just like, and she's still defending this dude. So obviously, you know, with him not being there, he still has some type of control over this girl, in which, you know, a lot of times it is hard for women to, you know, even when they do leave, you know, these men still have some type of spell over them, and they'll still, you know, protect and hide whatever these men do. And so, you know, I'm sure it's going to take a while long for, you know, Jazzy to get up out of Chris's spell and, you know, live her life and live in her truth of what really, you know, happened with him, and, you know, just come to terms that, you know, he is a deadbeat father, and, you know, he left his other three. I just don't really think that he is over there, you know, secretly, you know, doing things that she's just not filming it. I mean, we know that Chris is not doing anything for Legend, and, you know, I don't think he plans on it. I think he's just, you know, gonna let her figure it out. I think he knows that Jazzy's not gonna put him on child support, being he already pays what, alleged $600 for LaKenya's 2 kids that he has by her. So I think, you know, all in all, he knows that he's getting off clean with it. You know, obviously, I guess she's still paying his car payment. So really, you know, he didn't lose either way. I mean, he gets to come and go as he pleases. You know, she still pays things, and, you know, it is what it is. We know that Jazzy is a dumbass for Chris. And again, until she gets up under that spell of Chris and, you know, that he has over her, you know, nothing will change. She will always put him over her 5 children. So let's get into this next topic, because people were also talking about this gingerbread video and the fact that she decided to get one gingerbread house for all 5 of the kids. Now, you know, I'm glad that they enjoyed it. They seem to enjoy it. You know, they seem to be just a little rowdy over the one gingerbread house, because obviously everybody wanted to take a turn doing something, you know, icing, putting candy on. But, you know, obviously 5 people can't be on one small gingerbread house to do. And, you know, I just don't understand why she never wants to put some extra money for her kids. I mean, she obviously could have got maybe, you know, 2 for Amaya and Kaylin, and then 1 for the twins to do. But we know that Jazzy is too cheap to do that. And, you know, she doesn't want to do that. So, you know, she does bare minimum, hurries up, makes some content out of it, and claims that, you know, she's this content creator that tries so hard to make good content for her, you know, subscribers, and just to try to be this mother of the year, when we know that obviously them kids are only over there because you want some content out of them. We know, sis, we're on game, we know. But again, Jazzy always tries to paint this picture like, you know, look at me, I'm doing good, people just want to bash me. But sis, we know what it really is. And, you know, at this point, I just think Jazzy doesn't care what anybody thinks. She just wants to get something out so she can get paid, so she can just keep her bills paid. I don't even think she cares what people think about her or the type mother that she is. And, you know, it shows by how she continues to do the same things to her children. And, you know, she never does right by her children, and she always picks, you know, putting money towards a man than putting money towards her 5 kids. It's like, sis, why didn't you just save the car payment for Chris this month, and, you know, maybe got an extra 2 gingerbread houses or an extra 2 gifts for your kids? Like, why does it always have to be Chris first? I don't understand. But let's get into this clip of the kids, you know, doing the gingerbread houses.
It's still good. Today's the 18th. We have 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You know that's 7 days. That's not going to be. Huh? You got to put more up there. Yeah, but you're gonna need more. You're gonna have to need it all up here. We're gonna dance, have a good time. Get it, Ava. There you go.
So again, y'all, you know, y'all saw the clip. I'm glad they enjoyed making the gingerbread houses. You know, it's very rare that they get to do, you know, activities with Jazzy. You know, she doesn't really ever want to make that effort to do anything with the kids. So, you know, I'm glad that they enjoyed it. But like I said, at the end of the day, you know, it was just kind of crazy how she couldn't spend that extra couple dollars to, you know, kind of make it more enjoyable for all her kids to really enjoy making the gingerbread houses. And these were a few comments in her comments. So one has said, wow, all them 5 children trying to share one gingerbread house, y'all. And that was the same thing. I think that was what most of us thought when we seen that this girl really had the nerve to buy one gingerbread house for all 5 kids. And again, it was just something quick so she could get out the way, so she didn't have to, put any more effort into Vlogmas. She's going to say that that was the be-all for Vlogmas. So there was another comment, and she said all the kids were crying for one gingerbread house. Each kid should have gotten one. Now, I can understand maybe if she could not afford to buy 5 whole gingerbread houses. I mean, as I was doing some searching, because she did get the Peanuts gingerbread house kit, it did say it was $15. That would have been $75 for all 5 of the kids. But I can understand if she didn't have 5 whole gingerbread houses to give to the kids. I mean, 2 would have been fine. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're nitpicking, oh, you were dragging it. It's not that big of a deal as long as the kids got something done for Christmas. That's all that matters. And which I very much did say that I'm glad that all the kids got to enjoy doing an activity for Christmas. I know Jazzy does Elf on the Shelf too. And, they've been with Philip and Hannah most of the holidays. And it's good that they got to do something fun with Jazzy. But like I said, again, sis, we talk about effort. We need effort with these kids out here. You can't just half-ass everything and think that, a child's going to grow up and just expect bare minimum all the time. If you always give a child bare minimum, you want to, set the standards high for kids, and, not just to say that they won't have high standards because they didn't get an extra gingerbread house, but all around, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I want to get into one more thing, because people were talking about how, the kids were eating the gingerbread house at the end of the video. So let's just get into this clip, y'all, and then we will wrap this video up.
Bye. Wait. But if you are new, please do like and subscribe. And make sure you look down below and watch all our videos that we make.
Yeah, that didn't last, y'all. They're taking it apart.
Okay, get that part to Ava.
It's falling apart, so they started just taking it apart.
Yeah.
Good?
So that was the clip of the kids eating the gingerbread house. And y'all, I mean, I've made plenty gingerbread houses as a child. I've never thought to eat the gingerbread houses. I know my mother didn't let me. I mean, none of the stuff is really edible. I mean, it all tastes like cardboard with just some glue on it. So the kids just seem to be more interested into like picking the icing, eating the candy, than they were even, enjoying decorating the house. Now, y'all know that Jazzy does have a reputation of starving her kids and just her kids just always scrounging for crumbs and pieces. So, it's not far-fetched that they were just hungry at the time of making the gingerbread house, and, they were just eating it up. And I just found it very weird that, Jazzy just wanted to make the gingerbread house just to have them automatically eat it. Usually gingerbread houses are made to set on the counter and be admirable and, look at the gingerbread house that, y'all made. But again, Jazzy's dumb, and she never, has any sense of common sense. So we know that Jazzy just had the kids eat it and she wanted to be done with it. I found that very strange, but again, I know people say, oh, you're nitpicking, but it's literally just, picking out the things that I did see in the vlog, because again, everything that she puts out always has, something in it that really just makes you think like, why is this girl doing this? What made her not edit it out? But, Jazzy doesn't care as long as she's posting something to get her coins so she can keep Chris and her bills paid. But comment down below, you guys, what you guys think. I just had to do a video on this gingerbread vlog, because I just cannot believe that she ignored her 2 kids, trying to give her the affection that they so desire from their mother. But again, comment down below what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for another one.
Woke up this morning, can't remember nothing. Two bitches just flew from London. Nothing I remember, they calling me daddy. The mansion was covered in money. Went to sleep with my jewelry and chains on. Had to wake up and recount the money. I got a bitch, she gon' kill for real. Talking about Clyde and Bunny. Cool with the kid, copy. Got to pull up with a stick, stop it. Rich nigga shit, rich nigga. Oh, 100 pockets riding. Got it. I go to space with the stars. I smoke a blunt on my pilot. Saturn, Moon, Earth, and Mars. NASA take off with the rocket. $500,000 on the necklace. Them rich niggas be successful. say she wanna feel special. What? And Coco make her feel special.